What is happening, everyone? Welcome back to G-Ball Vision. Today I have for you guys another exciting unboxing to dig into. Before we get started, double check, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. And before you head out, hit that thumbs up button. I greatly appreciate it, everyone. So we have a knife coming in here from Vosteed. So huge shout out to them for sending this guy in for us to take a look at. And we're going to dive in here and see some of the best unboxing experience in the entire knife world, in my opinion. I mean, you got the box, and then you have a tin inside the box, and then you have a pouch inside the tin. And then you get a removable RE. And then below that, you'll have paperwork, and you have a sticker probably, a sticker or two, another patch, a microfiber cloth, just some of the best unboxing experience in the game. And then, like I said, your zipper pouch. And then you also get a knife with your purchase. Yes, in this case, we are taking a look. This is going to be kind of a limited run for Vosteed. This is the Nightshade, but this guy is going to be coming in Elmax. And you're also going to get not only the flipper, like the original Nightshade, but you're also going to get the cutout on this guy. So you got the multi-deploying options with this one. And this has the brass bolster with black micarta. I love this look. And then I believe this has a gray, I don't know if it's a gray DLC or a gray PVD, but it looks really good. And then it has like a tumble to it. And then you have that nice little coating of oil on there as well. One thing I've learned about these grayed out finishes, whether it's PVD or DLC, yes, there is a difference. But what I have learned about the gray, especially when it has like a light tumble to it, like this one does, Off-Grid Knives does it as well, but it holds up extremely well when you are using this thing. If you are using this in a bunch of different materials and you're actually out using your knife, it's going to take wear pretty good. You're not going to have smudges like a satin finish. You might not get like wear marks like certain finishes will eventually show. I think this is one of the best finishes as far as, a DLC or PVD. I like the gray. It's almost starting to grow on me more than like a black DLC or PVD with a tumble to it. I really like that gray finish with the tumble. I think it looks extremely good, and it really takes wear nicely. So we have a deep carry clip here. We'll have just a tiny little bit poking out of the pocket there. I do like the pocket clip on this guy, and there's a little emblem there for the Vosteed family over there. And it's going to be your typical Nightshade, but with a few added extras. The Elmax is going to be one of the main attractions, or the main attraction, coming in Elmax, and that's one of my favorite steels, guys. And then you tie in this kukri style blade shape, and the Elmax mixed with this comfortable handle, and then this very low kukri style drop point blade. It's going to make for a fantastic utility style knife, even a day-to-day knife. This is going to be an all-around good pocket knife. Now, if it's not your aesthetic, if it's not what you typically, go for, then that's understandable. But I would be willing to say that, this isn't my normal cup of tea either, right? But there's something to be said about knives that are just functional. They just work. And get it, when I first bought the Nightshade, I was, it wasn't a, ton of money, 50, 60, 70 bucks, whatever they are. And, I took the gamble on trying it out, and I fell in love with it because of the way it's designed. and just the ergonomics of the knife, it just really, really works, you know, and there's a nice amount of edge here for longer type cuts. They keep the blade stock. It's not too thick. It's not too thin. It's going to be a great user as far as, you know, this full flat and the way the geometry is done on these. It's a great recipe for a good user. Why don't we go ahead and, why don't we go ahead and we'll check that edge also. All right, so we got our nice thin phone book paper here, and let's see. Yeah, that's got a pretty good edge on it, guys. Typically, if a knife, so I have knives that are sharp that struggle with this phone book paper for whatever reason it might be. Like they might blaze through cardboard. But one thing I can say is when they blaze through this type of paper, and then if it can cut, you know, down and back up again, it has a pretty damn good edge on it. And this one definitely has a good edge. It just wants to bite right in. So that has a nice edge on it. Why don't we go ahead? We'll go ahead and we'll check it on some cardboard as well. Since I know you guys love the utility side of this stuff. Nice. This is double wall, but it's a little of the more, I don't know what you want to say. It's the more bouncier stuff. There's a little bit. So, I mean, this is still double wall, and that's doing pretty damn good. Yeah. With it, just slicing right through it. Let's go against it. Come on now. That might have been me. Yeah, it's not bad at all. That's got a good edge on it from factory. I love Elmax. Elmax is a very well-rounded steel. And then, like I said, guys, tied in with this blade shape, it's going to be an awesome user for you. You know, and you might not like the flipper tab, or you might love it. I'm of the opinion you can only get the Elmax in this version. So if you want the Elmax, you have to get it. So it doesn't really matter. Me, you know, some people would say, I don't want the flipper tab because I want to be able to choke up behind the edge. Well, I can still do that. I like flippers, and I'm used to having to go over top of them anyway. So it's not really a big deal to me. You know, even doing something that has a little bit more density to it and you got to get a little bit more on it. Now, there are some flipper tabs that could give you or prove to be an issue, but this isn't going to be one of them. This will be easily gone over top of and not really be that big of a deal. But I will take the flipper tab to get that Elmax, and this is probably my favorite version of the Nightshade right here. It just has a very cool traditional style look to it. And then once you flip it open, you are in for a surprise there. Definitely a cool and unique knife. They did recess the clip and the screws there. This won't be reversible. For our lefty brothers, they do chamfer this out nicely, and they jimp the face of that liner. So this thing is easy to get to, easy to disengage. And then the way the flipper is done is pretty unique. It's actually lowered down instead of coming up, but it works pretty good, especially for the push button deployment. That works really good, and they jimp it all the way around. So it gives you a lot of traction there if you are using that flipper tab. And the cutout, it's the same cutout as if you ever use the original one with the thumb hole, the TH edition as they call it. It's going to be just like that. It's kind of got the teardrop, if you will, or the keyhole, whatever you want to call it. It's got the cutout and it works good. You can thumb flick it, reverse flick it, and it seems like the action is already basically drop shut right out of the box. Perfectly centered. Lockup is, whoo, that's pretty early there. That's like 15 or 20% or so. Pretty early. That could be a cause for, yeah, I guess maybe not. There's no movement in there at all. There's no side to side and there's no up and down. So that's pretty impressive. That. And then the more I see this, the more that I do this and really focus in on these locks, the more I've learned that you can have, I still say it's good and better to have, 30 to 40% lockup, maybe like 30 to 35, just because then you're wedged in there at a good spot, in my opinion. But with that being said, I've come across many knives that have early lockup, like 15, 20%, and they stay locked up solid, even right out of the box, against adversity, and they stay locked up. So, the proof is there that whether it's 15 or 20% or whether it's 40 or 50%, it can be done, that they should be staying locked up under, a certain amount of duress. And for the most part, I have to say, I test a lot of knives every week as to, locks failing, not failing, and 99% of them, guys, if not more than that, all pass. So that is a good thing. That's really good for all of us. Out of the last, 50 knives that I've gotten in, only one of them has failed, and it was actually corrected just by some light sanding on the tang of the blade. Do have a video of that if you didn't see it, but and that was the only one out of all the knives that I've gotten in over the last month or two. Only one, and it was corrected. So that's just a great testament to these knife companies. I hope they keep it up. Let me know what you think of this guy down in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. Let me know what you think of the Elmax, the dual deployments, the look, the handle, the Nightshade period. Let me know what you're carrying. Let me know what you think of Vosteed. Make sure you let me know something, anything, and hit that thumbs up before you head out for good. And if you're new here, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I would love to have you here. Otherwise, guys, I'll throw up a couple new videos. Go check one of them out, and I will see you on the next one.